Hi everyone, welcome to the Premodern Super League. My name is Nick from Duress Crew.
I'm Billy from Duress Crew. We've taken over the channel. Wilhurst is tied up in the basement. It's our show now. Look at me. I am the commentator now.
For those who are unfamiliar with us, we are a social club out of Worcester, Massachusetts, who organizes events for Premodern. We're also a dinner club, and depending on who you ask, a death cult. We do a lot of different events, and we post on social media. For more insight into who we are, you should check out Will's excellent podcast, I've Got Questions, for our episode featuring myself and Brad.
So we have a really cool match today. It demonstrates what is really interesting and engaging about the Premodern format. We have two well-known community players playing two cool decks. Damian Vigneri is on a survival Tradewind rider deck. This is kind of neat because it's got this history to it. French national champion Raphael Levy played this similar deck at Pro Tour Chicago in 1999. He got fourth. Actually, eventually, that event was won by an Oath player. On the other side, we have TvTyrant playing an original brew, and his key interaction of Terravor and Oath of Druids hasn't shown up in professional Magic before. So this is the really cool, neat, engaging thing about Premodern as a format. You can play an old brew that you've ported over to a new deck, or you can brew up something entirely new to yourself. There's still plenty of space in this format to discover interesting interactions. Nick, why don't you tell us what's going on with Damian's deck?
So what we're looking at here is Damian's Tradewind survival list. Now, Damian is known for winning the South American Premodern Championships on elves. In his list, he put Natural Order into the elf list and really put it on the map. It's borderline stock now, depending on who you're asking. But this is a totally different list. This list has survival, same thing as elves, but it also includes the deck's namesake card, Tradewind Rider. Tradewind Rider is a 1/4 4-mana flyer with an ability. And the ability states, tap Tradewind Rider and two of your creatures in order to bounce a permanent to its owner's hand. This deck is quite complicated, very similar to elves in the sense that it's got multiple lines with survival and multiple ways to win. So you can win with Prison via Winter Orb, opposition, of course, the namesake card Tradewind. And sometimes you can win with aggro with, in this case, the 3 Basking Root Wallas, Deranged Hermit, or even Mastercore and Genesis. One thing that's really different about Damian's list here is he's not running Anger. A lot of folks run Anger in this deck because the haste is just so advantageous with things like Rider, Hermit, Wallas, a number of cards in this deck. Instead, he is running Natural Order, the full 4 in his 75. This really helps him against red matchups, in addition with his Wall of Roots and Wall of Blossoms. As far as the sideboard goes, there's really nothing super interesting here. There's 3 Naturalize instead of 4, 3 Blue Blast instead of 2, a Call of the Claw for Wrath of God, in addition to the one in the main board, and of course the rest of the Natural Order package. This version of this deck, because it doesn't have Anger, has a healthier mana base, but at the same time, it's sacrificing its speed for a more grindier matchup. Billy, so if you're looking at this list, what are you afraid of?
From my perspective, there are some cards here that could really mess the matchup up from TV's perspective. Winter Orb is better than you would think against most Mock Simon decks. They really shut down manlands. Natural Order can get an explosive finishing play. The real big issue is that there's 10 mana dorks. TvTyrant's deck is, when we get into it, it's going to be all about mana denial, but those dorks really change things up. Tradewind Rider. It's hard to say, I'm going to mess it up. I don't care. That card is a heater against TV's deck because there's a play pattern. You got some dorks out, TV plays an Oath, and you just play into it. TV Oaths into a huge Terravor. Tap, Tradewind Rider, I can't say that card, bounce it right back to their hand. Run it back, next turn, go get a big Terravor, tap, send it back to hand. It finishes with 4 Terravors in TV's hand and a victorious Damian Vigneri. Besides that, not really that concerned about that much Nantuko Vigilante. It's a lot of mana to get off to get him out of jail. Quirion Ranger, there's some cool tricks in there. From the sideboard, I'm mostly concerned about Naturalize. Uktabi Orangutan and Monk Realist. Those can get you out of jail. And then, again, natural order for a fast finish, try and raise a Terror, but that play pattern doesn't happen that often. We'll see if he goes for that strategy in the end.
Thanks. I think on that note, we can cut over to TvTyrant's deck tech.
Moving over to TvTyrant's list. Sup, dude? I'm up in your deck tech. We've got the deck that he built. He is the original author of this deck. Plenty of brewing space left in this format. This is a really cool deck. It's his original construction. He's running 30 lands. You got 8-man lands, 4 wasteland, 4 port, so 8 mana denial just in the mana package. And then in relatively more recent development, Hickory Woodlot. So this deck is violent because you use those woodlots. You got those 2 exploration and 4 mox diamonds. You're getting turn 1 oaths, turn 1 oath of druids. I meant to say Sylvan Library. Following that up with just Stone Rain, Stone Rain, Stone Rain, Smokestack. So we got 7 Stone Rain effects, and then really you close the game out either in slow mode with some manlands or a huge Terror. Moving over to the sideboard, we got 4 naturalized. That's standard for the format. Call of the Herd I think is going to be less pertinent in this matchup, but those generally give you value against control decks. Helps you keep up on card advantage. Curse Totem is going to be an absolute all-star in this format. That's going straight in. 2 Crumble, showing the movement of Sabo's Web into the meta lately. 2 Elephant Grass to make sure that you don't die. And it's going to be an interesting matchup. I think that play draw is hugely relevant in this format. It's really going to be important to see if TvTyrant can find Damian guilty on all counts and stuff him in jail. Or we'll see how he can get out of it. Nick, what are you afraid of in this list?
So, as all survival decks are afraid of course, Oath of Druids, a turn 1 Oath of Druids could spell disaster for Damian, because he could just flip into like a 15-15 Terror or something terrible like that. In addition, scared of Sylvan Library, because if you do manage to kill the Oath, Sylvan Library plus fetches really lets you dig through your deck in order to actually get to your additional Oaths.
And I almost forgot to mention a new development in the deck. 3 Smokestack. Everybody wants to play it in Premodern. You want to play Smokestack in Premodern, this is how you get to play it.
Yep, exactly. So as far as Tradewind survival is concerned, Smokestack is probably not a huge deal. Your deck is looking to have a lot of permanents, and you're probably happy to throw your birds into a Smokestack if necessary.
It's pretty easy to feed with Squee.
Not
hard.
Exactly. Yeah. You can just throw Squee right out every single turn and just feed Smokestack forever. One thing that's really interesting in this matchup is you got your 3 main survival decks, right? You've got Hermit Feb, you've got Tradewind, and you've got Hermit Feb, right?
Elves.
Elves. And of course, you do also have Survival Welder, but Survival Welder is probably close enough to Elves in this case that I'm not really gonna consider it separate. So in this spectrum, you've got Hermit Feb, which is terrified of Wasteland, and then you've got Elves and Survival Welder, which are not really scared of Wasteland. Tradewind kind of comes in the middle here. It's definitely got a lot more non-basics, but at the same time, it still has that number of dorks that Elves have that it can kind of play around Wasteland. So it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out in this match. As far as the sideboard goes, Terrified and Naturalize and Curse Totem and maybe Elephant Grass to shut down that aggro plant.
Let's see how this all plays out. Let's watch some games.
Okay guys, here we are with the match. Looks like TvTyrant's going to be on the play. Let's see what his hand looks like. He's got a Mox Diamond, Richport, Sierra Resistance, Sylvan Library, Terror, and a Smokestack, while Damian's sitting on Opposition, Survival, Winter Orb, Walla, and a second Survival, Kyrian Ranger, and Gilded Drake.
This is exactly what TV's looking for. Turn 1 Mox Diamond, either go for the Sphere or the Sylvan Library, or looking for a fast Smokestack to stuff him in jail. Let's see how it goes.
And of course, Damian's going to put that hand away. It had no mana, so then he resolves back to Wall of Roots, Kyrian Ranger, Walla, and a Tradewind itself.
TV, of course, snap keeps. Let's see which direction he goes. He could try and port him down. Turn 1 Sphere. You are guilty. Off to jail.
You're already feeling pretty bad if you're Damian here, right? You can't even play Walla or Ranger this turn, and your Wall Roots now cost 3 mana, right? So he's just going to play a forest and pass right back. And, of course, with Richport, this is not looking good for him.
We're kind of in a tricky spot here because TvTyrant needs to go land to go stick the Sylvan Library. So that's one of the tricky points with the turn 1 sphere.
Yeah, exactly. So now he's kind of locked himself out of his own sphere, out of his own Sylvan Library, but he knows what Damian needs to win, and he is just saying, nope, not today. I'm going to stuff you right into jail. So it looks like Tyrant's thinking a little bit. He's probably making that decision point on what he should be doing here. I think it's pretty obvious, right? He's just going to have to port him and pass, port him during upkeep.
Well, he's going to get plenty of time with the port. Yeah.
So let's see.
Forest.
Oh, so he draws forest return. So now he has to think if he wants to play library or port.
I'm going for library here.
You're going for library?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just he's got no threats. Just start taking 4, taking 8.
Because yeah, exactly. What's Damian going to play here? He can't even play survival. He's just going to play a 2-mana Carrion Ranger and pass, which is it's pretty good against Stone Rain. But at this point, does he even really need a Stone Rain?
Yeah. Let's see what he takes. All right. So he takes 4. Yep.
And
no, he didn't take
1.
4. Yeah, he didn't take any.
And I think he's just going to say, hi, welcome to Scary Terry. We'll play a 1-1.
A 1-1 Terravor. Plenty of time on this clock.
But, next turn, assuming he draws a land, which he probably will with Sylvan Library, he's just going to slam a Smokestack, and that might just be game over, honestly. There's no way he's going to be able to bounce back from that. Because 3 mana, what's he going to do? Play a Wall Roots? And, that's good against a 1-1, but
it's
not amazing against Smokestack if he just slams it.
I mean, here's a start. Wall Roots is a way out. Going in.
Get in with 1.
Let's see if he takes the trade.
No way. What is he doing? What?
I think he's trying to keep him in jail by not giving him the untap.
Oh, and he draws... Oh, his first draw.
Oh, it's because he knew it was the Terravor from the...
Oh, because he knew. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Stick an Oath. All right. Yep.
Good luck. Have fun.
Yep.
Here's an Oath of Druids. You don't have main board naturalize.
Yep. Holding up Wasteland.
Now you got to get 6 mana to play Nantuko Vigilante and blow this thing up.
That's a while from now.
Yeah, it's a while from now.
Okay. Yeah, that was a heads-up play.
Yeah, that was really cool. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, he wants to keep me in jail. He'll take the trade. Yeah.
If I'm Damian, I'm really confused here.
I don't know, because if he's got Tradewind Rider out, and then this is the play pattern that I was talking about. Oath into Terravor, then play a Birds, and then every Terravor from here on out can get bounced back. Maybe Smokestack will have something to say about it.
Yeah, because I think if I don't play this deck as much as you, Billy, but if I'm Tyrant, I think I'm going to try and slam Smokestack here and just force him to bounce Smokestack instead of Terravor. Make a hard decision because he can't really. And now he's got 2 Sphere.
Yeah, that's a 6-mana Smokestack now, so he couldn't have even done it last turn.
Yeah, so he couldn't have even done it.
That's the trick.
I'm really
Sphere.
I'm really interested in this seemed to have really turned around here because now he can start playing out some of his walls, drawing cards, get a Birds out there.
Yep.
Bounce Terravor.
Yep. And
which Terravor is a 5 mana now.
Yep. Bounce every Terravor back. Send it back. It's an important Sylvan Library. And here's opposition.
Oh. He does only have 1 blue source though, so it's not likely that he's gonna cast that next turn.
I think he's gonna maybe take he's got a couple of war hits in the bag, though. This isn't a big... All right, Oath him once.
Is he going to let him Oath?
But remember, it's summoning sick.
Yeah, but still, that's 2 Terravors. He's got to
bounce 1.
I guess he could bounce both.
Yeah, he can bounce the effect, the live Terravor, and then let the summoning sick one hang around.
I mean, surely he's not going to take... I think this is 1919. I don't think he's going to take that.
No.
Not today.
Then, Wallaroots, a little small for the Treetop Village, but
he can play out Terravor again.
Yeah. Okay.
And not even give him an Oath.
Yeah. If and when this opposition...
I mean, a 5 mana 1919 trample is still pretty good.
It's good on rate. It's on rate.
Oh, the trick!
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He's going to steal his cookies.
Yeah.
This is...
I'm going to bounce one of your guys, and I'm going to snatch the other one.
So I made TyrantOath, and Gilded Drake definitely, believe it or not, is my second favorite Drake. And I know that's hard to say, but I despise this card. Just survival it up. Thank you, sir. Yoink!
Yep. Snap, concede.
All right.
Okay, so here we are with TvTyrant's sideboarding. Like we said, he's going to bring in
Curse Totems.
Curse Totems.
Yep.
He's going to bring in all the Curse Totems. He's going to bring in the Naturalizes. Or I assume he's going to bring in the Naturalizes. Let's see.
Yeah. I would Smokestack, terrible against Weenie decks. Okay. Only one stone right now. Got it. Interesting. Curse Totem's going to be a huge all-star here. In this matchup,
I think it's interesting. He's not respecting the survival. He's just saying, yeah, whatever. I don't care about Naturalize.
Yeah.
I think Naturalize is way better than Stone Rain here.
Yeah. I tend to board out almost all of my stone. If this were me, I would board out all of my Stone Rains. I find them to be generally less effective in Mana Dork matchups. And I would put in the 4 Naturalizes here. But again, Curse Totem is the absolute all-star. Turns off Mana Dorks. Turns off Tradewind Rider.
Yeah, which is huge.
I'm not sure if they have open deck lists or not, but he didn't see the opposition yet. So.
Yeah, but I think Tradewind typically runs it.
Yeah.
It's pretty common in the deck. But yeah, it doesn't seem like he's really scared of opposition or survival, and I think he should be.
I think he. Yeah, I don't know. I mean. So he's on the play again, and just going like turn 1 Curse Totem should be enough to stick him in jail. Or a turn 1 Sphere should be enough. So maybe he's keeping in Stone Rain effects so that he can, keep him locked up tight.
Sure. Now we're cutting over to Damian's sideboard. Here, if I'm on here, I'm Snap bringing in Naturalizes. It looks like he's thinking about bringing in Natural Order. No, he's siding it. Okay, that's what I thought. I would probably cut Natural Order here for Naturalize, I think. Or maybe even Wall Blossoms or something.
Yep. Boom.
We'd probably cut Mastercore too. That card is not very good against 15/15s.
So he's bringing in. It looks like he's planning to bring in 8. What do you think you want to take out?
Wow, he wants to take out Winter Orb? I don't know about that.
I think it's...
He did see Mox Diamond, so maybe that's just his thoughts, but...
Maybe he's just super heads up. He's expecting the Curse Totem. He's anticipating it. He's expecting no live Mana Dorks.
Yeah, I guess so. It's just... Yeah, I guess maybe his idea is like, I'm going to play a bunch of dead Mana Dorks and then turn them into bigger creatures. Yeah, you definitely cut Genesis here. This is not a control matchup.
Verdant Force is terrible.
Verdant Force is pretty... Yeah, Verdant Force is really bad against Oath. Like, Deranged Hermit's bad against Oath, but Verdant Force is arguably worse.
Yep.
Depends. And at least in this matchup. Caller's definitely out.
Yes, it's not
your
relevant.
only way it's ever effective is you just trade your board.
Yep.
And that's not really where you want to be. Wall Blossoms is out. He doesn't really need to draw many cards with this kind of sideboard plan. He's bringing in a lot of live cards here. I am interested in the Phantom Shoba. Maybe the idea is like to help mitigate some of the trample damage from Terrorboars over and over again, but I don't know. I'm not certain about that.
It oftentimes gives you a few turns, depending on the average size of a Terrorboard when you Oath is 7/7, or 7.5. So Nishoba can be enough to stop a Terrorboard.
Alright, so if we're looking at the hands here, we've got 2 Curse Totems, 2 Spheres, Mistress Factory, Woodlot. Damian sends away his hand. We see Natural Order, Birds, Tradewind, and Opposition.
I keep this on the play. I think TvTyrant's hand is great on the play. There is kind of a curse of this deck, is that's hitting the 2 green pips successively. So once that Hickory Woodlot runs out of gas, finding that second green might be critical. But you know what? You get a lot of time with a Curse Totem and then a Sphere.
It looks like someone's highlighting Hickory Woodlot here.
Yeah. It's a reader for some
people.
So
it is a reader. So, Damian keeps a hand with Birds, and I think that's good. But if I'm in this matchup and I lose to Curse Totem or Oath, I would probably mulligan a little more aggressively. You've got your turn, you got Curse Totem here, now your Birds is off, and you've got one other mana source, right? So, and then your hand costs 3 mana minimum if you count Vigilante.
Yeah,
right. And knowing that we see 2 spheres, those are surely going to come out to really try and lock him out of this game.
Yeah, I like this. I don't know if he's going to go for Sphere or Oath next. Yep. Send the message.
Get in for
You
0.
got to keep him on his toes.
Let's go.
Yeah, excellent. All right. Fetch up a
we
forest.
Get a fetch. Yep, get the forest.
Yep. So interestingly, the fetches are just for making Terravor bigger and filtering with your Sylvan libraries.
So what do you play here, Sphere or Oath? I think...
I don't know. I mean, that Birds ain't going anywhere. You got to close this game out sometime.
I think you just play Oath here, right? Because Oath is just like, okay, you've got a creature, you're not going anywhere, and I do understand, I guess, Woodlot's going away, so now he has less mana, but he can still play Sphere next turn, right?
Personally, I'm counting to 4. Can he stick a Tradewind Rider to, again, engage in that exact same play pattern?
Now, he did not know Damian had a Nantugo Vigilante, so he's only going to get 1 Oath out of this, but...
Sometimes that's all you need.
That might be all he needs here, right? He might just flip into a really big terror board. Looks like a 9/9.
Yeah, notably, unmorphing a Nantuko Vigilante is a game action, not an activated ability, so Curse Totem does not turn it off as much as I wish it did.
No, I disagree. I think it's pretty sweet that it doesn't. Coming from an elf player.
Okay, so he's going for a more aggressive line here, trying to rip cards off the Sylvan Library. He has the initiative, he's got the big Terravor. So he can afford to take some damage.
I mean, Damian, maybe Tyrant is aware, but, he can't cast most of his hand. He can blow up both the Druids here, but there's still a Curse Totem on the field, and that's still really bad. So
he's got to take the whole turn to solve that problem.
And I think you have to take care of the Oath.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Tyrant's advantaged at this moment. Yeah.
So let's see. So Damian's thinking about what he wants to do here. I think he's just coming to the realization he has to blow up Oath. This Finhorn Elves is dead.
Yep.
Did not see the Cradle in his hand.
Due
to the overlay. That changes things. Because now he can natural order if necessary. He's still facing down a 9/9, and I don't know what he would natural order into here that would help fix that problem.
Nishova, just give you time.
It gives you time.
Yeah,
but,
natural order for Nishova, and then block the Terror, gain some life, stay alive.
Right.
Flip the Vigilante, and...
But he's still going to get to Oath, so that Terror is not going to be a 9/9.
Correct, it is not, and there's going to be 2 of them.
Unless he flips right into a Terror.
Yeah.
Oh, natural order for Monkey. I love that play. I did that the other day versus Dreadnought.
Okay, yeah, we missed that. That is very heads up.
Yeah.
That's very conscientious.
But,
But still got 2
you could be staring down at 20 plus damage here and have to... Did he just flip into a 9/9? Oh my god.
We'll see. I don't know. He's got 3 creatures. Even... Let's see here. Is there anything that he can do?
He can waste the Cradle, which is huge.
That's big game. 11/11.
11/11. What's up, man?
Yeah. So attack with one of them. Sticking anything in the way. Alright. You've done your duty.
Good job, Monkey.
Good job, Monkey. Terravor has Trample. I don't know if it's still going to be, 2 swings either way.
So I think Damian's just trying to evaluate if he natural orders for Nishoba next turn, if it'll save him, but I don't think it does. He is going to blow up Oath, so he's not going to get another Terravor, but that's still... so I think Damian's going to concede to this Curse Totem. Yep.
Very good. Well done, TvTyrant.
All right, going on to game 3.
Yeah, play draw is pretty huge here. So looking at sideboarding from TV's perspective, I tend to tune up a little bit play versus draw with this Stone Rains. So let me think. Did he see anything new? Natural order. Okay, so Call the Herd is kind of neat because it he's gonna have more creatures anyways. So let's see what's going on with.
Okay, I see. So it's just putting more pressure on him.
Exactly.
Yep. Okay. And I think Damian's just saying,
Run it back.
yeah, let's run it back. This time it'll work.
This time I'll be on the play.
Yeah, this time be on the play.
Yeah.
I think that's accurate.
I would take out Verdant Force here. It doesn't seem.
Yeah, I don't really like Verdant Force against this deck because Verdant Force is maybe for one turn bigger than like Terravor, and you just pass. And
do you like Damian's hand here?
yes, you've got it naturalized for anything that's gonna mess you up. You've got Tradewind Rider, you've got birds, like it's got everything you want.
No turn 1 Mox for TvTyrant he keeps. I like the 6-land hand if I have Exploration in hand. Curse Totem is hot. Yeah. Hickory Woodlot.
Yeah, I do think TvTyrant's hand looks a little slow.
He's got the already packing the naturalize for it, but a little slow. He mulligan once?
Oh, and he's gonna morph in Vigilante here.
Yep. Vigilante.
Just kidding, it's an Exalted Angel.
Okay. I mean he knows what it is.
Right. So I think he's just accepting the fact that this Curse Totem isn't gonna get any better.
Yeah.
So you might as well do it now and make him spend his full turn doing it
You're looking for more here.
Right.
Yeah. He's playing off the top of his library. All right.
So sitting on 2 mana here, we'll see what Damian decides to do.
Flip.
He's gonna swing, probably do the old swing and flip.
Yep.
Ooh, interesting. Huh. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Sure. Wasteland obviously pretty dead here.
Yeah.
So TV's gonna opt to play the port plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna use the naturalize on the totem instead of flipping Vigilante.
That's interesting.
Oh, because you can do the he can blow up Mishra's Factory while attacking if he goes for the block. I'm guessing is his thought.
Yeah. TV down to 16, no blocks. Hickory Woodlot showing the card disadvantage here. He's treating it rather preciously. Watch this. Boom. Mox Diamond. He's going to get rid of that hick. Boom. Get out of here.
Second factory.
Yep.
I imagine he might even just throw a factory in front of this Vigilante.
Oh, that's a great trade. Yeah. Yep.
The Vigilante will flip and inevitably blow up a factory, but he could still trade one away if necessary, or at least like bait out the flip. So
are you opposition or natural order here? Opposition.
The opposition.
All right.
For sure.
The imprisoned has become the prisoner. Or no. The imprisoned has become the jailkeeper.
Alright, let's see what he does here. He's going to tap Vigilante to tap the port.
That's interesting.
I mean, the Vigilante
can't attack, yeah.
Can't block or do the thing, so you might as well make something out of it.
Yeah.
If you're Tyrant here, you just go
racing.
Yeah, what's up? I'm going to make 4 damage.
Yep.
Get in there.
This is pretty anemic so far, but that natural order is going to show up.
So the problem is with this opposition right now is Damian's only sitting on 2 creatures, right? So he can tap 2 things, and that's great and all, but TvTyrant's got a handful of lands here.
What are you getting here with natural order?
Probably Nishoba. Looks like he's thinking about Verdant Force. I think they're both totally fine. They're both 7/7s. They're both doing the thing.
You know what Verdant Force does? Is it makes gas for opposition.
Yeah,
Yep.
Good call. Okay. I didn't think about that.
I didn't think of that either. Boom. Every upkeep.
How do you like being in prison, Tyrant?
Yeah. The shackles tighten inch by inch. This is dreadful. I've never seen this interaction before, but I already know that I hate it. Please, nobody in New England do this to me. I will cry. Oh, this is dreadful. Every upkeep.
He's tapping it for fun.
Yep. Yeah, wow.
TvTyrant straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
Yeah, I think Tyrant should have mulliganed a little more aggressively. Like, I think he really needed the oath there. I think he really needed something a little bit more than what he had going on.
That wraps it up.
Well, thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the Premodern Super League. This was a very enjoyable match. I thought it was a really interesting dynamic going on between the both decks. Billy, do you have anything to add before we go out to our outro?
Let me think. In both cases, the players that were on the play won. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that really shows, like, turn 1 birds keeps you out of jail. Turn 1 Mox Diamond Oath keeps you on the initiative. I think it's pretty clear here how important that was. I thought this was a cool match. I got to see some cool interactions. Again, like old extended classic from 1999 with a little bit extra spin on it with a natural order, showing the strength of Verdant Force in opposition. I mean, Verdant Force itself is its own monster, but it's just like, it's rough, man. It's just like, maybe I can get out of this, maybe.
And I also think it really illustrates a point that I talked to you about this a lot with Elves, which is also pretty similar matchup, is Curse Totem's great, but you need Curse Totem plus. Curse Totem will not save you if you have no pressure. And that's kind of what we saw last game, right? I mean, obviously Damian's going to try and mulligan to a Naturalize to respect turn 1 Oath, turn 1 Sphere, turn 1 Curse Totem, whatever. So I think it's really important that players do that, and Curse Totem really not showing off how strong it can be in conjunction with other cards like Oath of Druids.
Absolutely. So thanks again for Will Hurst for giving us the opportunity to co-host. We had a great time. So Nick, where can we get in touch with Duress Crew if we need to? Where can we get in touch with Modern Magic Emporium, and I've got questions if we need to.
So you can reach out to Duress Crew on a number of different platforms. We are at Duress Crew on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Content coming to YouTube soon. You can find Will Hurst at I've Got Questions podcast. You can find him as Modern Magic Emporium on MTGO, and he's also on Twitter. Sorry, Will, I don't remember your handle on Twitter off the top of my head. Any closing thoughts, Billy?
Thanks for having us on, Will. Hope to do this again, and stay tuned for the Premodern Super League. More matches to follow.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.